Started with 500, on my way to a mil, closed over 100 deals. Can't change us. It's the game changers. It's the game changers.
You want to ask yourself every single day, am I doing everything possible to reach that goal? Don't get too far of yourself. Stay in the moment, stay grounded, and continue to push every single day. Welcome to the Game Changer Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah Bryant, and we got the OG member, the first podcast ever for the Game Changers back. We got Jaz. How you doing?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
Welcome back. So, it's been a crazy year. It's been a game changer year for us. And what I want to do for the viewers is do a recap of how this year went for both of us and show y'all that within a year, a lot can happen. So, let's bring them back, right?
Yep.
So 2023, we did a lot of things. So the first thing that I could remember, or one of the first things that we did this year was we did a podcast in February. So let's talk about that. So how has that podcast, or leading up to the podcast, how was that for you?
Yeah, so that was an amazing experience. The Millionaire Mindset podcast, for those of you who don't know. It was great because, that was a podcast that you were going on to, talk about the EDB Academy, and you invited me on your trip to, speak on the podcast with you. And I ain't gonna lie, a little bit, I was nervous at first because I'm not used to being in the front camera, and especially on a big platform like that, Millionaire Mindset podcast.
That was your first podcast?
That was my first podcast, aside from the one that I did with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So flying from Tampa to Dallas, us just spending the weekend in Dallas, of course, getting to know each other a little bit more, and then going on that podcast to speak about what we do. Doing that podcast, it actually brought a lot of social media attention to me, because I got a lot of people in my DMs. They were like, "Oh, I seen you on a Millionaire Mindset podcast. You flip land. Like, I want to do what you're doing." Yeah. So, that was a game changer for me because, like I said, I'm very shy and introverted, so it was kind of new. Yeah. Like having all these people flood my DMs from, all over, the states and stuff like that. So, I really enjoyed it, and that was, me getting my name out there as a land flipper and a mentor, and also, people buying into the program and getting into the mentorship. So that was really dope.
That experience was elite.
Yeah.
Because I remember, right, at first, once, me and Xavier talked, it was supposed to just be me and him.
Right.
But I'm like, nah, you got to get Jaz up there too, because she's killing it, After I gave you that information, we turned up. Right. So I wanted them to hear both of our stories, because we both have crazy stories, and the feeling after, the hit-ups we got, like people that really believe in us and was able to enjoy this ride with us. It's been a crazy experience.
Right.
So now, a little bit after that, was that InvestFest after that? Or did we go back to Dallas?
We went back to Dallas after that to that real estate conference where we saw like all the heavy hitters. Yeah. People that we was watching on YouTube as we were coming up trying to wholesale. We were meeting them in person and, shaking hands with these people in the same rooms with these people. So, that was another high. Yeah. Like
with that one, we was actually a vendor.
Right, yeah.
So this was our first time even going to a real estate event, being a vendor there, and introducing people into land. Because a lot of people, this was a wholesaling houses event in Dallas, and we were the only one teaching land. So how did that feel? People coming up to us, asking us about land and what we do. How was that for you?
That felt great because a lot of people, they didn't really know that you can wholesale land, because everybody else that was at that conference, they wholesale houses. Yeah. So that's really what they were there for. So when they seen our booth, they was like, wholesaling land, like, how do you do that? So being able to explain the process to them, and then they was actually very intrigued. And, we bringing them into the free webinar, and they're actually, seeing what we're doing, and they actually liking what we're doing. So that was another great thing. And then also, as far as like networking, we networking with a lot of people. One of our students, she actually came to the event to meet us in person, because she got on a live webinar and she came to the event. And, you know, she was excited to see us in person because everybody liked what we're doing. They liked the story behind it and everything like that. So that was real dope.
And after that event, this is when we started actually doing mentorship.
Right.
Around this time. So now we're actually being more hands-on with the people that we're teaching. Because at first we were just doing courses, you know, free classes and weekly coaching. But now we took it up another level.
Right.
So, and you know, within the mentorship, a lot of people that's under you have been closing deals back to back to back, literally in our chat. Like first deal, landed their first deal. So how has that experience been for you?
And again, that has been great. So I'm gonna just take it back to when you first asked me, how do I feel about, you know, teaching? Like I said, I would never thought of myself being in the forefront, being on social media, everybody knowing what I do and how I make my money and stuff like that. So when you was like, you know, how do you feel about, you know, teaching others? And I was kind of like skeptical about it because I'm like, dang, I got to sit one-on-one with people, get on Zoom calls and do all of this and do all of that. But at the time I was like, okay, maybe this would be something good for me because this will allow me to get out of my comfort zone. And which it did, right? So, you know, getting on those podcasts and then now transitioning to be a mentor and, you know, having daily Zoom calls with the mentees because everybody's trying to learn what we're doing and I was once in their shoes.
Right.
So that's what make it feel even better because I'm like, okay, now I get to, you know, pass on this knowledge that was passed on to me and change somebody else's life.
Yeah.
So I have about 21 mentees right now and I want to say about 6 of them have gotten a deal.
And that's a crazy percentage.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people get information and don't act on it right away. So us being able to bridge that connection for people to actually like, yo, this is really happening.
Yep.
I could do this too.
Yep.
And I'm able to close deals. I know Jason, one of your mentees.
Oh yeah.
I think he got 3 or 4 deals that first 30 days.
First 30 days, he went crazy. And the thing about that, I want to touch on what Jason did because when Jason came into the mentorship program, he asked me, he said, yo, Jaz, like, you know, I'm in this program. I'm trying to, you know, wholesale land. I want to do exactly what you did, right? And I told him, I said, yeah, all you have to do is follow the blueprint. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. When I first started, I got the knowledge. I started taking action immediately. I sat on a dollar and cold called 6 hours a day. He said, okay, I'm going to do exactly what you did. And lo and behold, Jason was on the dollar every day, Monday through Saturday, 6 hours a day.
Damn.
And he ended up getting 4 deals under contract in 30 days.
In 30 days, y'all. In 30 days.
So that's just proof to put into me that all you got to do is follow the greats.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't need to replicate anything. If you know that this person did this and it worked for them, just copy and paste.
What else would you say within our mentorship that's different than others? Because we first met each other through a mentorship.
Right.
Right? We're actually doing it a lot different than how our mentor taught us.
Right.
So what would you say is the difference between us and other mentorship that you were involved in or that you see around it?
Yeah, honestly, I think we got the best mentorship out. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So our mentorship is very hands-on, right? So a lot of these mentorship programs, they don't allow their mentees to work within their business alongside of them, right? What we're doing is we're providing the systems, right? We're providing the leads, we're providing the builders. All our mentees have to do is actually make the time to do the calls. And when they do the calls, they get a warm lead or a hot lead, they pass it over to us. We tell them to lock it up and we already have the builder in place to sell the deal and we're closing on that deal in 30 days. So for one, the mentee is not, you know, dishing out any money during their first 30 to 45 days to get deals. They're not doing any of their own marketing. We already have the marketing in place for them. They just got to make the call.
Yeah. And the reason why we do that is because we want to make it as easy or simple as possible for you guys, because this is a challenge. But if you do it with people that's already done it, it makes it more achievable for you at a quicker rate. So now you could get a proof of concept faster. So now you could eventually start doing it yourself and get to the point that we are, right? We're trying to help you get to the point that we are 6 to 3 months quicker than how we did it.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
And even at that, right? We all know that cold calling is the most fearsome thing that you can do within this business. So we're making them do the hardest thing first. And then when they get to do it, they're like, oh, this not so bad, right? And then we're also, when they do close a deal, we're putting money back into their pocket. Basically, they're getting their money back that they invested in the program just by, you know, getting on the dollar and dollar.
Yeah.
And no other mentorship program has done that. I've done about 3 mentorship programs, and none of them do that. We're just thrown into a Facebook group. We ask our questions in the Facebook group, and that's it.
Yeah.
We got to put up our own money for marketing, put up our own systems, and we're not even doing one-on-one calls with our so-called mentor.
Right.
Our mentees, they can call us, text us, set up one-on-one Zoom calls. They're getting everything hands-on.
Yeah.
Like, we're giving them so much value.
And we have multiple mentors that's working within 1 or 2 people. So you have about 4 to 5 mentors that you could contact daily to get extra help. So you could get to the point we are quick as possible. Because the more people that works with us, the more deals that come to us.
Facts.
And you as well, you know, just follow the same blueprint. So now, right, within this mentorship, you know, we have our mentees closing deals with us. You know, one of my mentees just closed 2 deals on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
Where I had the buyer. So it's so many opportunities, you know, that we provide.
Yep.
But now we go to InvestFest, right?
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so InvestFest, right? And InvestFest, I'm feeling like a celebrity. It's people coming up to me. They was like, ain't you the girl that flip land? I see you on Facebook all the time, like on those ads. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they like, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, yeah, okay, cool.
How does that feel? Because I felt the same way, you know. I'm not sure if you remember. I went a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Right? So with me going there earlier, and I'm walking by myself through this crowds of thousands of people, and people recognizing me like, yo, Eli.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, it was a great feeling. And knowing that people is applying the knowledge that we're, you know, giving, and them getting the results. So, you know, what else do you remember from InvestFest or that you took from that?
Yeah,
experience?
so at InvestFest, I had someone come up to me that joined our webinar. And, you know, as she was telling me, she immediately took action, but she just had a few more questions. So we basically, I basically gave her a soft mentorship in 30 minutes, right on the spot, in person at InvestFest.
Damn.
But, you know, I say all that to say, you know, getting in those rooms again, right? Because if she wasn't at InvestFest, or if I wasn't at InvestFest, we would have never ran into each other, right? If she would never joined the mentorship program, she would never got a deal. I mean, not the mentorship, the webinar. She would never, you know, got a deal or recognized me, ran into me, and learned about land.
Exactly.
To change her situation. But it was just so much, you know, excellence in many businesses in that room that it's a way for everybody to eat and make money. Yeah. Because there was other people that do some sort of land investing there too. So, but it's just so many ways that you can actually, you know, invest in real estate and also, you know, invest in yourself at that moment too.
And make some money.
Yeah.
So now, you know, you're closing deals throughout this process, right? We're teaching people, we're making content, and we're also closing deals. So let's go into some deals, right?
Okay.
What was, let's say, your easiest deal that you closed this year?
Oh, man.
That you can remember?
My easiest deal? Honestly, all my easiest deal happened through text. Like literally, I'm sending out blast SMS. The sellers responding back saying that they're interested in selling. Some sellers, they respond with an asking price, some don't. And then I give them my price and they be like, oh yeah, you know, I accept that. And then I just get them on the contract without speaking to them, without looking at the lot, without looking at the buyer, without looking at them, and closing in 30 days.
That's crazy.
I've done a lot of them this year, literally.
It's so simple. I have a deal right now that I listed on the market, right, for 35. A lot next door sold for 35, and I got that one for 20,000.
Right.
So, and this is through text messaging.
Yeah.
Simple. Like, I probably text her like 4 or 5 times. That's it. You know, asked her, you know, would she consider a cash offer? She said yes. I said, what's your offer? She gave me 20,000. you know, I told her, let me ask my manager, and then from that point, send her a contract through email.
Yeah, it's so simple. Because I mean, a lot of the deals that I've closed this year through text, it's been happening on that first text thread. Like I'm not even a follow-up thing. So a lot of these sellers have been motivated. We've been catching them at the right time. You know, the prices have been right for them. It's just the act of doing it.
Yeah.
So and that's what I try to tell my mentees as well. Like you just got to do it. Just market every single day. You never know who you're gonna.
You said something important. Timing. Talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about that. The art of timing within this business. Because I tell people, right, when you first contact somebody, you're not always going to get that deal. Right. I don't always get the first time I speak to somebody or text them. I don't always get those deals, right? A lot of these deals is through follow-up. So let's talk about the timing. Yep.
So, and that's a good one too, because the deal that I just closed 3 weeks ago, it was a probate deal, but I ran into that lead when I first started wholesaling land back in 2021.
Damn.
Yeah, so
That's
I got her on the contract. Yeah, I got her on the contract at $20,000, and I was set to make 17 grand on that deal back in 2021.
Yeah.
But the day that we got to closing, the title company decides to let us know that we got to go through probate, right? So from that point on, I kept in contact with the seller. I followed up with her, and I also referred her to a probate attorney as well. So, you know, she felt very comfortable with me to where, fast forward now to 2023, when she finally did finish the probate and got everything situated with that, she reached back out to me and said, "Hey, Jasmine, I'm ready to sell." And, you know, although I didn't make 17 grand on it like I was projected to in 2021, she still wanted to work with me because we built such great rapport. I kept up with her, and I ended up making $7,500 on that deal.
Wow. So it's like $7,500 just came to you.
Yeah.
Because you put the output 2 years ago. That's crazy. And that happens all the time within this business. You know, the person that I got that 10,000 or 15,000 potential profit that I listed, that was my first time texting her. But she was also letting me know that like other people was texting her and they never reached back out. So I caught it at that right time.
Yeah.
And I didn't waste no time, right? So you gotta, when you have an opportunity, you also gotta jump on it right away.
Right.
So now, right now we do an event.
Yep.
We're talking right after Invest Fest, we're now planning our event. So leading up to this event, how was you feeling? Was you nervous, excited?
I was a little nervous because I didn't know that I had to speak in front of everybody at the event. Although I had been doing all these webinars throughout the year, I was still nervous, but it felt really good to pour into our mentees in person, right? Because, you know, of course we could do the one-on-one Zoom calls, but actually meeting everybody in person, shaking their hand, you know, just hearing their background stories, and then I'm telling them my testimony in person, and they're soaking up all this value. So I just think that was very personal. Like it was a personal experience.
Yeah.
And then the thing about it is my three mentees that did come to the event, they closed the deal right after they left.
Right after.
Right after.
You know, so, and I remember that because like leading up to the event, this is my first time hosting the event.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely nervous. I don't even know what's gonna happen, right? You know, planning it, everything is going smooth, but you never know the day of.
Right.
But actually seeing everybody's faces that invested in us.
Yeah.
And then almost everybody, it's probably one, maybe two people in that room that didn't close the deal. And it was 30 of us in that room.
Right.
So that's just a crazy experience knowing that like the people that tapped into us is really making progress and really, you know, applying the knowledge that we're given.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So now it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
Around this time, I know it's like it was the same feeling back in 2021 when you hitting me up and like, Eli, I just quit my job and I made 6 figures. But now it's like, Eli, we neighbors now. So let's talk about this experience because we shooting this right now in Jazz's high-rise apartment.
In the crib.
2 bed, 2 bath, corner lot. Yeah. Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I remember making a post on Instagram one day, and I was like, I can't wait to be in my high-rise, like, you know, just chilling, watching the rain pour down. I want to say this was like last year, but not even thinking or knowing that I was going to live in a high-rise. It's just, you know, thoughts or whatever, because I was like, it looks nice, and you know, one day I have to live that life one day.
Yeah.
You know, I got to experience it before I purchase a house. But I never in a million years thought I would be able to live in a high rise for real.
Actually do it.
Yeah, actually do it, right? So I remember one time, like I want to say this was at the beginning of the year, you asked me, we was in the elevator coming up. You asked me, you was like, so when you gonna move in here? Mm-hmm. And I was like, what?
I remember.
And he was like, when you gonna move in here? It's about that time. And I was like, I don't know. You know, I live out in New Tampa, nice quiet area. I don't know about living downtown Tampa. So he was like, I mean, you about halfway there. What's going on? I was like, well, my lease ends in November. We'll see what's up. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, right? I know my lease coming up. What it is, like, you got to put in a 60-day notice. I'm looking here. I see they got some 2 bedrooms available. I'm like, all right, cool. I can do that. We gonna make it happen.
Right.
I applied. You know, I ain't getting no kickback. I got approved. Mm-hmm. And you know, I went ahead, applied, put my 60-day notice in at my old apartment. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, I moved in October 27th on the 27th floor.
That's
2 bed, yeah.
October 27th. On the 27th floor.
Yep.
It feels like it was destined.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not sure if you remember what I told you. I was telling you, like, yes, this rent may be high, mm-hmm. but you have to put yourself in a predicament where this is actually feels normal.
Right.
You want this to feel like, oh, this is whatever, 3,000. That's normal for rent, because you're gonna program yourself to make more money mm-hmm. when you put yourself in higher tax brackets or, you know, higher rent. Right. Because now you know this has to be the average.
Yep.
I need to go up.
Up more, yeah. I got to be making more than that rent.
Exactly. And with that, now you're doing life insurance, right? So now you're looking at more opportunities. Mm-hmm. You're not just settling with land, you know, teaching, like, no. I want to make more money. I want to make more opportunities. So talk about that as well.
Yeah, so with the life insurance, I never thought I'd be doing life insurance either. But I saw the opportunity. You know, I'm like, I'm already in sales with land. I'm speaking to people every day, cold calling. I could do this too. Yeah. Right? So I'm seeing, you know, others. Shout out to Drake. You know, he was, you know, posting on his story, closing deals with the life insurance. I'm like, okay, bet. I reached out to him. You know, he's sent me everything on how to sign up, take the course. I passed the state exam on my first try.
First try.
First try, yep. So it's basically the same thing where you got to buy leads, you got to call them, nurture them, and you closing deals over the phone. And you getting paid the same, if not the same day, 24 hours or 72 hours later.
That's dope.
Yep.
So you about to 10x your income.
Yeah.
And then that's what I'm going to go into right now, right? 2024. What do you want? Like, what is your vision? What do you see coming for 2024? Yeah,
2024, I'm actually in the works of working on actually buying a piece of land to keep myself. So that one is going to be in Weeki Wachee. That's an up and coming area. We got builders that's always looking for land in Weeki Wachee. So the seller has to go through probate. I'm going to be paying for a probate process, and then I'm purchasing myself and keep it. So I want to say like lots in Weeki Wachee, builders are paying almost 25 grand for it. I'm going to be getting it for around 12.
Wow. Yeah. That's dope. We land owners now, man.
Right.
Land investors. Wow. I'm super, super duper proud of you.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm saying that in the sense that I see you as great just as I see myself as great. So we about to turn up. Like, it's not just buying one lot. That's popping the cherry. Now we about to go crazy for 2024. Like, the goal is, at least for me, to own as much land as possible right now, because I see a shift happening. I see areas like Weeki Wachee, Northport, and a couple areas in Florida increasing their prices.
Right.
So you saying it's worth 25 now? I think by the end of 2024, it's gonna be worth like 35.
Oh yeah, and you know it's so crazy. I want to say I saw some lots in Weeki Wachi selling for like 35, 37, but I want to say it depends on the unit that it's in.
Yeah.
So I don't know which unit that mine's gonna be in, but I mean I see what you're saying too.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, yeah, I definitely want to keep this one.
Yeah, because I remember back in 2021, even starting this land business, like lots were selling for way cheaper. And now each area went up at least 10 to 15, if not 100,000.
Yeah.
Right? Port St. Lucie went up 100,000 from when I started. So
Man.
what we gotta do is we gotta acquire as much money as possible right now. So now we could start buying these lots ourselves. Even partner on deals.
Yep.
You know, we could go crazy in Citrus Springs right now.
Yeah.
While it's cheap as possible right now.
Yep.
Because before it was even cheaper. Buy those up, hold them, wait till like 2026 when the top of the market, and then sell them.
Yep.
And then we just made $100K just by selling lots that we bought this year or last year.
Going crazy.
You know
and with the life insurance, you know, I didn't never know about a IUL policy, but with the IUL policy, you could borrow against yourself or borrow against your policy and use that money to invest in whatever you want. So I have an IUL policy and I'm going to pull out some money and invest that in land.
Yep.
I could negotiate my own land deals, find my own land deals, and then I could borrow against myself. I don't have to borrow from a bank or nothing like that. And purchase real estate.
And that's the goal. You want to become the bank.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yep.
Like, I want to become the bank because I know that's the highest return I'm going to make on my money. For example, if I become a lender and I lend out money, I can make a quick 10 or 12% on my money like this.
Right.
You know, you do that multiple times. This is how you can make an extra 200, 300K without doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just your own money. So, you know, I got an IUL too. Now that you got life insurance, I got into it. I'm not actually selling it, but, you know, I got my own plan.
Got your own policy.
So I can't wait for when I could borrow that money, buy some land. Because my goal, I want to buy like hundreds of parcels of land. Like, that's the goal within this next 5 years, because we know how to find the discounted land.
Right.
Over realtors, over everybody. We're the first, we're the direct to seller contact. So we're like extremely important within this real estate transaction. We come across the best deals.
Yep. And thinking back, I wish I would have kept some of them deals I got this year too, because I found some real good deals this year. And I really wish I would have kept them. But, you know, in 2024, that's the goal, is to keep more than I sell them off.
Keep more than we sell. So 2024, we buying more than we selling.
Buying more than we selling.
That's the goal, man.
Yeah.
So any last words you want to leave the viewers with? You know.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, nothing is out of reach. Nothing is out of your limits. You know, you can go from nothing to having everything, right? And I'm prime example. Literally, I went from living in a one-bedroom apartment, never thinking that I can afford rent on my own, to now living in a high-rise on the 27th floor, mentoring others, inspiring others, you know, pouring into others. So eventually that they can get to the position that I'm at too. And, you know, that's just a great feeling as well, because, you know, just being able to pour into somebody else is a great feeling.
That's a fact.
Just how you poured into me. So
right. And what I would say to them is, it doesn't matter who does it first, just as long as we all get there.
Yeah. Facts.
So we both in a high rise, we're both buying land, and we're both mentoring others to do the same as us. So this is a blessing, and we're living a dream.
Living a dream, man.
Make sure you tap in with us. We're doing classes this year, 2024, every Sunday at 7 p.m. And we may start doing them Thursdays again at 8 p.m. So make sure you tap in with us, and let's make some money together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Game changers.
Let's get it.